This should be interesting. That doesn't bother you? Say hello to Hermaeus Mora for me. Ah, yes, the lore of the Black Book. No one here now. Guess it was nothing. I must have imagined it. You can't hide forever. Ha! Oh! Ha! Show yourself. I know you're here. Come out. Ha! Yeah! Ha! Die! Victorious again. Who's there? Enough! Oh! Yeah! Oh! Ah! Ah! The connecting soul thread is knotted 3 times, once for the heart, once for the spirit, and once for the body. The knot gives the connection a strength that may be the key that I've been looking for. Together we form House Telvanni, one of the great houses of Morrowind. The great houses rule what is left of our once proud nation. The Telvanni are the master wizards of Morrowind. The greatest of us grow magical towers like this one from the mighty fungus trees. The man makes a dreadful cup of canis root tea. However, he seems to run the place well enough. Oh, were you fishing for a compliment, a sign of gratitude? Don't waste your time. Those things are for the weak and foolish. Winterhold, that small college that is falling into the sea of ghosts? You're the one that recovered the staff of Magnus. Impressive. Talvis should finish his apprenticeship in a couple of decades. Come see me then. I think I could teach you a trick or two. I don't recall inviting you into my tower. I do hope you make this worth my while. You again. Didn't I see you in Raven Rock? When Red Mountain erupted almost 200 years ago, it flung ash and rocks for hundreds of miles. Among the debris were heart stones. Even 2 centuries later, they still smoulder with the heat of the mountain. These are the molten rocks that lay next to the heart of Lorcan for millennia. Some vestige of its power must have seeped into them. I do know that heartstones sometimes raise ash spawn from the bits of bone buried in the nearby ash. Of course you have. Everyone has heard of the Master Wizards of Morrowind. We are one of the great houses that rule Morrowind. Make them stop? Oh no, certainly not. At least not yet. Not until I've figured out what is going on. Imagine the power of being able to command entire villages to do your bidding. Imagine what I could do with that power. Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our shores. You are too young to remember the Neloth. He defeated Dagoth-Ur and saved us all from the Blight. When the city of Vivec was destroyed, it took decades for us to rebuild. We are still but a shadow of our glorious past, but some day we will rise again. The ignorant think it is only a place of ash and lava. It has rolling green plains and swamps and verdant hills, too. There is the big island of Vardenfell and the coastal mainland. House Telvanni has its properties on Vardenfell. I've never been to the mainland myself. It is the only place where silt striders can be found, although I managed to transplant a few here when I arrived. It's the homeland of the Dunmer. The lesser races call us Dark Elves. We built great works there, like Vivec and Aldrun. Many of them are destroyed now, either by Red Mountain or the Argonian invasion. This is a Telvanni tower. It's my citadel, grown from the spores of the giant fungus trees found in Morrowind. Back in the homeland there are other Telvanni wizards that have them as well. Don't be ridiculous. Of course I can. The question is, should I? I suppose if it's going to be done right, I'll have to do it. I could, but I won't. It wouldn't do to have you become better than me, after all. I don't know, but I mean to find out. I still have some research to do before I'll know anything for certain. I might have a few staffs, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Mostly staffs. They're my specialty. I suppose I could dig up a staff or two for you. In the meantime, we would keep a bed and chest here for you. For now, not much, but in a few decades, when I return to Vardenfell, you would be seen as Morrowind nobility. They are off working on their pillar. Happens every night. Savros? Ha! He wouldn't be fit to be my apprentice. Of course, he does have a knack for wards that would be handy to learn. If you see him, let him know that I might be willing to take him on as my apprentice. For a price, of course. I am likely the greatest wizard you will ever meet. Who else do you think could create a staff enchanter? If you make yourself useful around here, I might just let you use it. Do you need all your toes? I could really use a fresh toe for... never mind. You aren't mouldy enough. First, it's ash spawn attacks. Then my home withers. It's almost like someone is out to get me. Well, my pretties, what shall we do today? Maybe see if you can regenerate your fingers? My new steward is acceptable. If only he made better tea. Where is that ash-sucking steward of mine? Verona? Where is that lazy steward of mine? Verona? Oh, no, wait, she's dead. Drovus! Things have been much calmer since you disposed of Ildari. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Ash spawn attacks my house, and even my steward is assassinated. It's as if Tel Mithrin is cursed. Spoiled food, ash spawn attacks, my servants constantly getting sick. What's next? I wonder if a dragon could be captured alive. It would make a fascinating test subject. How am I supposed to get anything done with part of the tower withered like this? I'll have to get someone to bring this to my lab. What a waste of a good specimen. Do you have a death wish? I wouldn't if I were you. A wizard's pockets can be more dangerous than a dragon's mouth. Fascinating. They aren't very clever, are they? Keep your prying hands away from my secrets. Careful with that thing. Am I supposed to be frightened? Clumsy oaf! Watch out! My equipment is fragile. Finally, I can get back to work. Are we done? I thought so. That's that, then. Watch where you're going. Stop that. What do you think you're doing? That belongs to me. Yes, you're dragon-born. We're all very impressed. Was that really necessary? Get out of my tower. So, you are smart enough to surrender to a master wizard of the House Telvanni. I should kill you anyway, but that would be boring. Get out of here before I toss you out. Leave, or I'll be forced to show you the true power of a Telvanni wizard. It hurts. No, not like this. I'll take care of you. Does it bother you to be trespassing right now? Ha! I guess they fled. Well, nobody is here now. Must have scared them away. Just the shadows playing tricks. Nothing, I guess. I could have sworn. Oh, well. I'll find you. You can't hide from a Telvanni wizard. So you want to play hide-and-seek, eh? Does stealing make you feel less impotent? I'll make you pay for that. You dare attack me? I see you have little in the way of morals. You can only hide so long. Some sort of trickery is at work here. Aha! So you chose today to die. Fire, storm, and ice. By the fires of Red Mountain. You can't hide from a Telvanni wizard. There you are. Get your hand out of my pocket. I expected you to die. Oh, well. I am a master wizard of House Telvanni. I command powers you can only dream of. You cannot best my magic. The very elements are at my command. You are no match for me, dragon. Yes. Who's there? Show yourself. What was that? I've just the spell for you. Fear my power. Time to die. Die, Noir. Damn Thatcher. Learn the power of the Telvanni. Yeah. Fascinating. I hope one of you dies. A werewolf? Here? Aha! Thought you could hide, eh? So that's where you went. No match for my magic. That's that. Hardly a challenge. Should have known better than to challenge a master wizard of the House Telvanni. For House Telvanni! You are no match for my magic. Aha! What have we here? Nothing I can't handle. What was that? Huh? Is someone there? Come out this instant. You'll pay for that. Oh! Oh! Now it's my turn. Oh! Damn you! By Malakath's hairy knuckles, you'll pay for that. Oh! Thief! I'll teach you. So you think you can steal from me? Huh! Try putting yourself back together now. I could almost admire these Dwemer machines if they weren't so annoying. Another one for the scrap heap of history. More of these things? There seems to be an inexhaustible supply of these Dwemer contraptions. I think they may be rebuilding themselves while we're not looking. Dagon's eyeballs, but you are an ugly one, aren't you? Dwemer mechanisms have no sense of self-preservation. I admire the Dwemer skill, but he can get tiresome. All of my people have left to work on that sacred stone. It's quite fascinating. Annoying, but fascinating. Mirak was a formidable opponent. I wonder what he would have been like as my apprentice. Defeating Mirak was an impressive feat. I'm curious to see if Hermaeus Mora seeks you out because of it. It's good to have everyone not running off to that damn sacred stone every night. I suppose I have you to thank for that. It was fascinating to watch those tentacles grow out of your eyes. Now that my tower is healed, I can finish some of my more delicate experiments. How do you like my new laboratory? I use it to dissect Spriggans. I've learned so much from them. Talvis, I think I'll start with the burnt Spriggan. They don't squirm as much. The ash from Red Mountain holds secrets. Secrets I mean to uncover. There must be a way. I'll find it if I have to vivisect every Spriggan on this island. If you're going to be up here, stay out of my way. If you have to ask that, you'd probably be best leaving his books to wiser heads than yours. Like all Daedric princes, he's not to be trifled with, but he is subtler than most of his ilk, appropriate for the prince of knowledge and fate. Many scholars and lore-masters have been ensnared by the lure of learning the secrets that only Hermaeus Mora possesses. But don't worry, I have no intention of joining them in their endless search through the infinite halls of Apocrypha. Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years. You there, you don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here? I'm not sure. But it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. What brings you to Raven Rock? Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. I have gone to some pains to ensure that I am immune to many forms of control. I cannot say for certain which is currently protecting me, but it bears further investigation at some point. It's true that I normally prefer to stay home and conduct my research in peace. Everything's so much more convenient there. But given that something seems to be taking control of the minds of all the inhabitants, I thought it worth investigating. Building something, clearly. And yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. You refer to the tomes of esoteric knowledge that old Hermaeus Mora has scattered throughout the world? The book is housed inside that dome. I'll need to unlock the door for us. Let's get on with it. The Dwemer certainly knew how to build for the ages. These towers have outlasted their creators by millennia. Or that the Dwemer's servitors continued to try to preserve the city after their creator's disappearance. I sealed the door when I left to keep out ignorant meddlers. Let me unlock it. Interesting. That would suggest that the city must have originally sunk during the first cataclysm of Red Mountain. The Dwemer of Nchardak appear to have been fond of these control pedestals. Luckily, I found a cube to operate it inside on my last visit. It looks like most of the cubes were moved to the lower levels, perhaps to try to control the flooding before the city was abandoned. Yes, here we are. This device shows the location of 4 more cubes in this section of the city. Shall we get on with it? Let's be on our way, then. I'm not taking this trip for pleasure, you know. Let's get to Nchardak. But the pumps only operate when a cube is in the pedestal. And unfortunately, I only have 1 cube. As you can see, most of the lower levels of the city are flooded. But it isn't hopeless. The old Dwemer pumps still seem to work. Watch. So, if we can find 4 more cubes, we can turn these boilers back on and restore steam power to the room upstairs. Then I should be able to open the book's protective case. They're shut down, but they still respond to the control cubes. Here we are, Nchardak. The book we're after is right inside that dome. This place was deserted when I was here last. I hope this is important. I thought you were in a hurry to get to Nchardak. These 4 boilers provide steam to the room upstairs. The book is just inside. I had to clean out the riffraff last time I was here too. Where did they come from? Besides, it could be very dangerous. These books are known to drive many people insane. At last, I hope it was worth it. Please, be my guest. You deserve the first look. Yes, it worked. The steam is flowing. Now, it should be as simple as... What's the worst that could happen? Well, you could have your mind sucked dry by House Telvanni, but that's supposed to be very rare. Please, go right ahead. I have plenty to occupy me for the moment. Aren't you going to read it? I thought that was the whole reason you dragged me out here. You should read it. I'd really like to see what happens. Don't worry, I'll take careful notes of what happens to you. I'm going to head back upstairs and see if the reading room has steam. If so, it should be a simple matter to release the book. Maybe now we can finally begin what we came here for. That seems to have done it. Good. It took longer than I'd hoped, but at least it's finally done. Oh, good. Be sure to say hello to House Telvanni for me if you see him. I have my doubts. But the city was a marvel of Dwemer engineering, now reduced to this. In the old stories, when the Nords came to conquer it, it said the Dwemer submerged the entire city beneath the sea until the invaders gave up. Nchardak, the city of 100 towers. In its day, it was the largest of the great Dwemer archives, and perhaps the most advanced. 3 of the cubes are through here. This seems like a sensible place to start. These must be the great workshops of Nchardak. Impressive, even in ruins. In the city's days of glory, it was reputed to be able to assemble a complete automaton in a single day. Much of the Dwemer's army at the Battle of Red Mountain must have come from here. Wouldn't it be easier just to turn off the trap? Like so? I hope the rest of the cubes are this easy to find, although knowing the Dwemer, I rather doubt it. Now that the boilers are working, it should be simple to release the book from its protective case. All 4 boilers need to be working if you want to release the book. I thought I was clear about that. We have the cubes we need to start the boilers. Let's not waste any more time. As I said, we need to restore the steam supply to the reading room if we want to get the book. You'll need a cube to unlock this door. I hope you remembered to pick up the cube I placed in the pedestal. You should be able to unseal this door with the control cube I gave you. Let's see where this leads. Ah, good. Another cube. We're finally making some progress. Look out for that steam, Centurion! Get to higher ground! Maybe through here. With the water level this high, we can swim across the collapsed part of the passage and reach the other side. Nothing down here. Ah, good. Now we can see if we can find a way to get that next cube. There's a passage up there. We could reach it if the water level was higher. You must have left a cube in one of the pump control pedestals. If you remove it, the pumps will stop and we'll be able to swim up there. Unfortunately, each cube we retrieve shuts down the corresponding pumps, raising the water level. We'll have to be careful. It looks like we'll need to lower the water level to make any more progress. I believe these pillars will activate the pumps for this room, assuming they still work. Very good. By my count, we found a total of 4 cubes. I have one you forgot to pick up. I hope you didn't leave any others lying around. Very good. By my count, we've found a total of 4 cubes, assuming you haven't dropped any anywhere. I have an idea. I'll wait here and retrieve this cube once you find the last one we need. Good luck. What a mess. I'm getting tired of waiting around in this muck. I'd guess that must be the pump activator up there. But how to reach it? You'll need to lower the water level before we can proceed any further. The last cube is somewhere through the northern door. We won't be able to open it until the water level is lower. Watch out. The water's rising even higher with both pumps shut down. Do you have the cube? Good, good. Then I'll take this cube and we can be on our way. That was easier than I expected. I'm glad you were here to do all the hard work. That's it. Don't touch anything else. Quickly now. Well, that's progress of a sort, but we'll need all 3 down at once to get to the pump control. Now we can finally see about getting those boilers started. I have some cubes I'm sure you're going to need. You'll need the cube I picked up to start all the boilers. I'm quite sure the boilers will not work while they're under water. I thought you understood how this worked by now. The water level needs to be lower for the boilers to work at all. It should now be as simple as using the cubes to turn on the 4 boilers. As much as I enjoy this place, I'm ready to see if we can actually open the book's protective case. You do still remember why we're here. You need to start the 4 boilers. Then we should be able to open the book's protective case upstairs. Is there some problem? With the cubes I retrieved, we should have a total of 5. I hope you haven't left more scattered about. With the cube I retrieved from the pumping pedestal, we should now have 5 cubes, exactly what we need. Still no steam. You didn't remove any of the cubes downstairs, did you? If you removed any cubes downstairs, you'd better go put them back. The boilers won't work if they're flooded. You know? All 4 boilers need to be working to open the casing. Are you sure you didn't remove a cube from one of the boilers? The last time I was here, I only explored a small part of the ruins. Hermaeus Mora has always tried to seduce mortals into his service with the lore of forbidden knowledge. Where the black books actually came from, no one really knows. Some appear to have been written far in the past. Others might be from the future. Apparently time is more malleable if you're the Daedric Prince of Fate and Destiny. If I remember correctly, there's another cube somewhere to the south of the main workshop. I think we should focus on how to get up to the door on the north side of the workshop. Don't you think we should focus on finding the rest of the control cubes? We need to find enough control cubes to keep the pumps running and to turn on all 4 boilers. Oh, it's you again. Still looking for Mirak? I haven't learned anything useful since we last spoke, I'm afraid. We still have cubes to find. Let's find these cubes and get out of here. Look out! Another steam centurion! Lowering the water level is the next logical step here. Looks like we'll need those bridges down in order to get the pumps in here working. The last cube is somewhere in here. I hope it won't require more swimming around in this filth. We'll need to get all 3 of these bridges down in order to reach the pump control. That should do it. I was here alone then, and I found an assistant is absolutely essential for this kind of dirty, dangerous work. Look out! Another steam centurion! Follow me. As you'll see, that's easier said than done. This way, to the boilers. No, we'll have to do this the hard way. If we can restore the steam supply to this room, I'm certain I can open it. So tantalizingly close. But trust me, no magic will open that. I'd have had the book already if it could. You can see the book right here. That's correct. I'm glad to see someone else has been paying attention. Bring that cube. We'll need it. It won't be easy, The whole lower part of the city is flooded, which has shut down the boilers which supply steam to the reading room. If we can restore the steam supply, I'm certain I can open the book's protective case. I thought I made myself clear the first time. The boilers in the Great Hall provide steam to the reading room upstairs, which we need in order to open the book's protective case. We need a total of 5 cubes, 1 to operate the pump in the Great Hall, the other 4 to activate the boilers. Here are the cubes you left behind. Here, I picked up this cube for you. Forbidden knowledge was somewhat of a specialty of the dwarves, eh? You don't think they would just leave it alone, do you? Yes, I do. I haven't been able to get it, though, but maybe together we can unlock the secrets the Dwemer left behind. Now that is a dangerous path indeed. Hameas Mora gives nothing away for free. You may end up like Mirak, of course. 2 power-mad dragonborn. It could be very interesting. Found one? Yes, and you read it too, didn't you? Don't try to deny it. You've got the look. I can see it now. Dangerous knowledge is still knowledge and therefore useful. Usually turns out to be the most useful, in my experience. I found their reading room in the ruins of Nchardak. The book is there, but it's sealed in a protective case, which I wasn't able to open. It seems the ancient Dwemer discovered this book and took it to study. But perhaps the 2 of us together will be able to get at the book. To Nchardak, then. Follow me. I'm afraid it isn't that simple. If it was, I would have the book already. You didn't know? I thought it was obvious. Have you? The actual Ogma Infinium, that's it. I've searched for it myself for many years, without success. But he is subtler than most of the other Daedric princes, as you would expect of the Prince of Knowledge and Fate. You seem to have escaped the fate of many who find themselves ensnared forever by the lore of his secrets. Or perhaps not. Well, then, you should know better than anyone that Hameas Mora is not to be trifled with. Mirak? The one all the town folk are always chanting about? Well, I knew something connected with Hameas Mora was spreading its influence across the island. I wasn't sure that it was in fact the same entity as this legendary namesake of the central temple, although the villagers seem quite convinced. Is this somehow connected to your search for Mirak? What could you know of them? Oh, it is clearly not associated with the same power that has overtaken the island. And I'm not talking about Hameas Mora. These black books are all his, of course. No, what you're looking for is a specific book, presumably because Mirak's power derives from it. Yes, I haven't been idle while this fascinating madness engulfed Solstheim. But my book isn't what you're looking for. I'm quite sure it is unconnected with this Mirak. But I do know where to find a black book that can help you. Oh, yes. They're not hard to locate once you know how to look for them. I have one here that I've been using to locate more. Nchardak, an ancient Dwemer city on the eastern side of Solstheim. It's largely flooded now, but luckily the main library is still above the water. It seems the dwarves were as interested in the black books as we are. They seem to have believed this one to be particularly valuable, as it is secured in a mechanism which I have been unable to open yet. The book is housed in the main dome. I sealed the door the last time I was here, as a precaution against thieves and other meddlers.
By Malakath's toenails! Where did that come from?
Well, that gives me a lot to think about. I need to get back to Telmithran. I have some ideas about how to locate more of these black books. Aren't you going to read the book? I didn't go to all this trouble just to stand around admiring it. You ducked out at the middle of a conversation with old Mora himself. Mighty impertinent of you. And since you need secrets that Hameas Mora knows, it seems like a rather foolish thing to do, but I'm sure you know best. What secrets could they have worth keeping from old Mora? Sounds like a bargain to me. Hameas Mora learns some fascinating new ways to skin a hawker, and you become the second most powerful dragonborn that ever lived. No wonder the Dwemer were so interested in that book. It was indeed one that Miraak used to advance his power as Dragonborn. But I assume there's some bad news. It would be unlike Hermaeus Mora to allow anyone to gain such knowledge without exacting a price. That's a fairly common experience, at least for those who remain coherent enough to report what they've seen. You were in Apocrypha, or at least your consciousness was. Your body remained here, of course. You should read the book again until you reach what appears to be the end. Then you will have fully understood the knowledge it contains. You're still acting surprisingly sane, too. What did he have to say? He must have wanted something from you. What happened? What did you see? Different people have very different experiences when reading these books. Did you actually learn what you needed to know by reading that black book? I don't recall asking you to kill Miraak. That was your own project. And I'm not even mentioning the fact that now we'll never know what would have happened when Miraak returned. Although, from all indications, he could have proved a serious nuisance. So, yes, I am grateful that you dealt with him. I wasn't worried, just interested. I don't get to observe firsthand many people who have spoken to Hermaeus Mora. Well, that is what you hero types do, isn't it? I wasn't expecting anything less. Who? Oh, him. Well, I assume you killed him, or Hermaeus Mora turned on him when you looked like the winning bet. Or a bit of both. Miraak's influence has vanished from Solstheim. So I assumed you handled things. Why? Did something interesting happen? Incipient madness, loss of self-awareness, black spots in the whites of the eyes. Any of the documented indications of Hermaeus Mora's permanent influence. No, you look fine. Well, at least no different than when I first saw you. Hold still. Let me get a good look at you. Now all that's left are these black books, waiting for another ambitious fool to be lured into Hermaeus Mora's clutches. Speaking of which, I think I've located another book, if you're interested. Here, let me show you. Now all that's left are these black books. It's a shame I haven't located any more. So much more to be learned. Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation. It could be very enlightening to observe you. That seems inadvisable. Oh, well, I would not advise touching the stone again. The effects of repeated contact could be... Ah, so you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating. Fascinating. By touching the stone, you appear to have fallen under whatever influence is affecting the others. I wonder how long this effect will last. Perhaps it is permanent, as with the others. That would be a shame. You are an interesting exception to the otherwise universal phenomenon. Can you hear me? Do you have any free will left? Or are you completely under this outside influence like the others? It appears that you were not as unusual after all. Good. As soon as I'm done here, I'll try it out. Idiot! Those are hard to find. Next time, don't fill it at all if you can't do it properly. Don't think your false flattery will work on me, Talvis. You're still going to give me that skin sample. Did you fill those soul gems like I asked you? Your enchanting has improved despite your best efforts. We'll see. If the power levels aren't too high, you may have it. That was before you ruined that staff. Fix the staff, and I'll teach you the spell. Verona, get some canis root tea. Oh, and remind Elenia that she needs to fix my tower. That chamber has been withered for too long. Maybe some Daedra heart. Elenia never seems to stock it. Let me get you the rest of the list tomorrow. I'm just too busy to think about this right now. Oh, Raven Rock. Right. I need soul gems. Taproot? That's all? Add it to the Raven Rock list. Ah, the wood is for the staffs. Put them away when you get a chance. But don't get in my way. What did they bring? Books? Soul gems? Yes, canis root tea, and don't let wolves water it down. Drovis, where's my tea? Have you seen Verona? I'm hungry. Have you found Verona yet? I could really use some tea. When you find my new steward, have him report to me, with a cup of canis root tea. Back so soon? Don't take too long finding me a steward. That woman is never around when you need her. Now, where did I put... Oh, yeah. Well, somebody needs to get me a new steward. It might as well be you. But if you don't want to help a master wizard of House Telvanni, possibly earning his favour, you're a fool. What? Make my own tea? I am a master wizard of the House Telvanni. Other people make tea for me. I don't care where she is. Go get her, now. And my tea better be hot. That Drovus man? I suppose he'll do. He makes dreadful canis root tea, though. But I should be grateful. Here, take this for your efforts. Oh, and you may use my staff enchanter if you want. There are more and more of those things showing up around here lately. Oh, I suppose you'll have to find me a new steward. Try Raven Rock. They are in awe of me there. I'm sure almost anyone would be willing to serve me. Dead? Well, that's annoying. How did she die? What? Who's going to make my tea? Why do these things always happen to me? Well, don't just stand there. Go find me another steward. I'm sure there's plenty of people in Raven Rock to choose from. Well, find her. Tell her I want apple cabbage stew with some canis root tea. Obviously not, or you would have a cup of tea in your hands. I suppose you want to be asked nicely. Very well. Please, O hero of Skyrim, please find Verona. I shall be ever so grateful. Finally, someone who recognizes my importance around here. Excellent question. Once word gets out, there will be a lot of people to choose from. Someone with a brilliant mind and a robust physique that is blindly obedient would be ideal. Oh, and they need to know how to brew tea. Ulves always waters it down. So, gaining the favour of a Telvanni wizard isn't enough. I suppose I'll have to pay you. Heroes, they get greedier every century. There are too many coincidences. There must be someone behind all of my recent troubles. So, Ildari does live, after all. She thought she could hide from me, but she can't. Have you found the source of the attacks? Don't lose that ring. It was difficult to make. Are you prepared to deal with Ildari? You're alive. I hope that bodes ill for Ildari. Try walking around the grounds with the ring on. I call upon the powers of the sun, moons, and stars. Ildari Sarathril, reveal yourself. Be sure to bring back an amusing story of how Ildari died. She lives. Seek her in High Point Tower. Ash spawn keep appearing. One night, a part of my tower mysteriously withered. I've even been attacked by dragons. Then my steward was killed. You had to find me a replacement. Do I need to go on? Don't get ahead of yourself. All you are going to do is wear this ring and walk around Tel Mithrem. If you find something, then we can talk about bounties and rewards. Why is it always about money? Yes, I'll find something around here to pay you with. Now go. Me? No. High Point Tower will be filled with monsters and traps. It's much safer for me to risk your life. Don't worry, if you die, I'll find some other way to take care of Ildari. Maybe not. I hear they've been seen over Skyrim, too. Even so, there is more than enough evidence that someone is out to get me. Really, when this is over, you'll have to tell me about it. My necropsies of Spriggans led me to believe that a heartstone could be implanted in a person's chest, granting them great power. I was considering replacing my heart with a heartstone. Fortunately, Ildari offered to let me operate on her first. Of course, this was before your Briarheart expedition. Now I know that I did the surgery all wrong. I've known for decades that heartstones will animate the ash, but it would have to be very close by. Where exactly did you find this heartstone? Yes, as I was saying, heartstones can animate nearby ash. Not now. Wait till we are back at Tel Mithrem. Not yet. That may come later. At first I need to identify the culprit. I've enchanted this ring to find the source of the attacks. Here, take it. The link is weak, so you'll have to be within about 100 feet of the source. Just wear it. It will light up the source when you get close to it. I enchanted the ring with a bit of ash from the last ash spawn attack. It can follow the magical link back to its summoner, Ildari. Then it was my own fault. She was my apprentice before Talvis. She volunteered for one of my experiments involving heartstones. It was quite annoying when she died. She's holed up in High Point Tower. Go rip that thrice-cursed heartstone from her chest. Yes, I have enemies, legions of them back in Morrowind. However, in this case I have reason to believe it is someone in Solstheim. What? That's impossible. Wait, unless she didn't actually die, the Heartstone could have kept her right at the edge of life and death. Could it be? Could Ildari still be alive? Could she be my nemesis? Wait a moment, while I cast a more specific divination. I have a staff for you, but I would also like to make you a member of my household. A member of House Telvanni. Well, well, you have proven to be a more valuable ally than I anticipated. No need to thank me. I know you are overwhelmed with gratitude. I don't have time to go traipsing all over Solstheim. If I don't hear back from you after a while, you're probably dead. Maybe I'll send Talvis out next. My apprentice has overstepped his bounds this time. What? That fool! His incompetence made this mess. Let's see how he decides to clean it up. Yes, I do. But they are for her to use, to repair my withered tower. I'm too busy to deal with this right now. Go, take them to her. Well, what are you waiting for? Go get me that book. I've pried open another of Hermaeus Mora's secrets. Excellent. Of course you can handle yourself. Of course you can. Of course. I'll just make a copy for myself. It's far too dangerous to carry the real book around. Now, take this for your efforts, and we'll call the matter closed. Yes, Hermaeus Mora is devious, but then so am I. Now, it's only a rumour of a whisper of a conjecture, but I think this is the place. Now hurry. That book might contain the final secrets of Xerxes, for all we know. Excellent. I'll take it. Here, have some septums. I'm running low on heartstones. If you have any with you, I'll buy one. Otherwise, I can tell you where you might find one. Every time the Red Mountain belches, more of them land here. Look around for impact craters, exposed rock, that sort of thing. You may need to pick away at it to pry the heartstone itself loose, but you look strong. Good luck. I'm still waiting for that ash sample from an ash spawn. Well done. Here are some septums for your troubles. If you come back in a day or two, I should have the spell worked out. You can buy it from Talvis. I do have a new spell I'm working on. I hope to be able to conjure ash spawn. If I could get a sample of ash from an ash spawn, that would be quite useful. I've made this special tool that will extract... Well, you don't need to know the details. Just go harvest a sample. Of course, the creature will have to be dead first, but I trust that's something you can bring about. So, do you have it? Did you get my book? Don't just stand there. Go get my book. In any case, this is truly amazing. I think I can adapt this into a sort of whirlwind vortex energy. Yes, I'll write it out, and you can pick up a copy from Talvis in a few days. In the meantime, take this for helping me. Perhaps this particular source was worth more than I thought he was. Pity. Can you? Of course you can. What took you so long to ask? I've been trying to adapt Redguard magic to the ash. I think the key concept I'm missing is recorded in Afasariat's book, Wind and Sand. I have some associates and correspondents who find things for me. One of them has a credible rumour on where this book might be. And I'd like you to find the truth of the matter. Say, how would you like to advance the art of magic? Off you go. If you discover any side effects, come back and tell me straight away. You won't feel a thing, but if you do, try not to scream too loudly. My ears are sensitive. I suppose that depends. Are you willing to be an experimental subject? Wet, you say? I suppose, yes, I can see how that would have inverted the tether. Unfortunate. Couldn't you simply avoid water? No, that won't do. Can't have you forego bathing. The ashlands can leave one a bit pungent, and it's obvious you've been through them. Here, I'll just remove it. Here's a bit of coin. Should help mitigate your inconvenience. Oh, nothing too dangerous. At least I think it will. Probably. Almost certainly. Of course, you never can tell. It should provide an additional spectral tether from your own life spark to the Adric realm. You would experience it as a sort of increased vigor. You would fight longer, feel stronger, that sort of thing. Seems like nobody is willing to put their life on the line for research anymore. I'm sure Talvis won't mind being my test subject again. Now stand still. It's my first time casting this spell, and I don't need any additional distractions. Well, that's unexpected. I presume you are blind, given the state of your eyes. It's nothing that can't be fixed. The spell, that is. I think I can fix the spell. It should only take a couple more years. But first I need some data. Try wiggling them. No, don't shake your fist. Wiggle the tentacle things where your eyes used to be. From the way they are waving about, I'm assuming they aren't under your control. And I see now that your tongue is also, well, it's probably best if I don't say. Don't bother trying to scream, though. It looks like it's beginning to wear off. Your eyes appear to be completely back to normal. Interesting. Well, I believe I've discovered a new form of silence. Some philosophers postulate 7 orders of silence, but I believe there's an 8th. What do you say? If you allow me, I'd like to envelop you in the 8th form, to study the mental effects. That's unfortunate. I'll have to use Talvis again, and he's a bit of a screamer. Although, maybe this could solve 2 problems. I suppose I do. It's too bad it wore off so quickly, though. Unfortunately, you don't appear to be suffering from any side effects. Anyway, take this for your time. Excellent. If this works, I'll prepare a version that you can cast yourself, if you ever wish to inflict, study silence. Curse these heart stones. Oh, have you? Well, let me just extract those memories, and I'll see if you found anything useful. Here, you deserve a bit of a reward for your efforts. That was a lengthy trip for you, I'm sure. I promise that any unrelated memories I run across will be kept in the strictest of confidences. Well, I'm hoping to do something similar. If I could connect a living being to the forces of the Red Mountain, well, that would be formidable. I've done some experiments in this area, but, well, my test subjects are far too fragile. I'm hoping to learn some of the Briarheart techniques, their methods. I would venture out myself, but long voyages are dangerous, and risks are precisely what people like you are for. I've been having difficulties with my Heartstone experiments. Have you heard of the Briarheart? Oh, yes. You rather rudely walked away. As I was saying, then, have you heard of the Briarhearts? They are fierce warriors of the Forsworn tribes. They actually remove their own hearts and replace them with large briar seeds. It puts their life sparks in direct connection to the natural forces. I need you to examine one of them. Just investigate as much as you can. I'm going to put this memory trace spell on you, so you won't have to worry about taking notes. I doubt you could know what was important anyway. The Forsworn live in the hills on the western edge of Skyrim. From there you're on your own. I'm given to understand that they are not difficult to find, if you gather my inference. He was the original Shadow Mage. His advances in magic are legendary. Less well known is that he was also a pioneer in the field of enchanting staffs. Every staff of his that I have uncovered has led me to greater understanding. Today we would consider his techniques rudimentary, but the genius is still evident. You didn't have to speak a word. I could sense it the moment you came in. You've proven your worth, and I'm as good as my word. Take this staff from my personal collection. I think you'll find it useful. You see, I'm a collector of staffs, magical staffs, in particular those made by Azra Nightwielder. Through some divinations, I believe I've located one. If you retrieve it, I'll give you a staff of my own making. Perhaps later. For now, I have a slightly more personal request. Nightwielder's creations don't really hold up in comparison to what can be made today, but they have a sentimental value for me. You understand? Let me know if you see anything you like. Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.